disagree with it because I get out here. I'm only saying I come out here these days and I talk to people and they're where I'm trying to be or where where I forgot where I have brought myself. And I'm wondering, how did you get that being out here and I had to go in there to get it? So that's where I disagree with it because they got it already. It's like, man,
and I'm gonna
treat that. I mean, something needs to be.
Go ahead.
I wondered how you get it.
so I'm gonna tell you how.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, reach that level of understanding.
Yeah, I got you.
And you know, so that's what made me say I disagree with him because I like I said, I talk to people and I'm like, damn, I wish I'd have had that came to that that point in my life with that understanding without having
the last time,
without having
the very last time you said, "Oh, I ain't gonna do this no more." Yeah, I know this ain't cool, but I'm gonna do it one more last time. Yeah, I stopped at the last time.
Right.
That's why all you difference between me and you.
Well, and let me say this, and let me say this too.
And I'm sure it stemmed from the rest of us with the trauma and
That's the only difference. I just stopped. You just took that one last time.
right.
But I want to give y'all a layer. I want to give you a layer that this is something that's really is awesome, and that is that in the universe, the principle will always remain the same. The circumstances under which that principle is in operation will be different. I.e., you went to prison or you had an addiction to this, and my addiction was a 6'2", 200-pound, gorgeous man with a nice house, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the issue becomes is that principle is universal. There is a purpose in the universe, and some people need to sit down. So you might have been moving too fast for him to get your attention any other way, so he had to sit you down. Me, on the other hand, the scaredy cat, until I'm pushed in the corner, you didn't have to tell me twice. I had 5 siblings ahead of me, and they was all crazy in a different way. I knew by the time I came up, I knew exactly what I could get away with, what I couldn't. Okay, I didn't need to get the whoopings they got and be put on punishment like they did for me to know, oh no, she's not going for that.
Just like I said, you take that last little, you say, oh, I ain't gonna do it this time, this is my last time. I stopped at this my last time. You just kept going.
Exactly.
I think as far as Terrell and from that same club, I think just we were so far in the streets that's what it took for us.
Right. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. He had to get your attention. He didn't need to send me. Listen, let me tell you something. My 12 hours in lockup, I didn't need to go no further than that, boo. That was plenty time. That was plenty enough time for me because this is the biggest problem I had. Okay. I never did get to bologna sandwiches because that'd be another problem. But the problem was I was in a room. Huh? I didn't get nothing because I was in after dinner time. They got me late. They got me late, and I told you I didn't go to sleep, and they got me out about 5 a.m. So look, so the thing is that there was little puddles of stuff. Some puddles I could tell was urine. Some I couldn't tell what it was. Then there was stuff on the walls that was smeared, and I didn't know what that was neither. And so for me, okay, and then fast forward. And I went to teach in CIW. And what I discovered was that this is the bunk and this the toilet. Okay. Them things for me was plenty enough to say, I don't need to go there to know that I don't want to be there. I came in, I checked it out. I taught in the dorm. I was like, no. I think I'll be okay. How about I'm just like, okay, so when homegirl like put her hands on me and I really was envisioning me doing like physical things to her, I remembered the cell. He showed me again in my head, and all the women that I was teaching, and I kid you not, y'all, all the women I was teaching in the prison start passing before my eyes. And all I could do was stand there like this. Because I was scared to breathe. because I was afraid
I don't wanna cherish my cell phone number.
for a CDC number. We don't want the CDC number. It's no good. It's no good.
I'll say something.
Yes.
Well, you know, we talk about prison a lot. I've been in prison a lot before I fight. But some people are in prison that they feel responsible.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, prison ain't nowhere to be. Some of the human warehouse is very dangerous.
Right, very.
So, and even out here, we walk the streets every day. People get traumatized every day by all kinds of experience. Like you said, you don't have to go to prison to be traumatized. That's just a, you know, like you're saying, we took it too far. But you got people on the street has their family murdered or whatever.
Yes.
And that's trauma. How do I get past this?
Right.
Who do I talk to deal with it? It's like this.
Yes.
I think you're weak when you don't ask for help. That's just my.
It really is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
When we sit in that board, we was vulnerable. We didn't want to. We had to be truthful. We had to be forthcoming with everything, and it made us feel a certain way. But it also made you strong to recognize who you were, to come out who you are today. And that's why I continue to come in these classes because, like he said, that would work for us. So I'm not gonna never give that up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I always keep a sound mind. I was an addict before. I was ashamed at one time to say that, but not today, because I had to recognize who I was and overcome. You know, so I understand that, and like you're saying, trauma, we all experience trauma. It's all about how we get past it and how we come out on the other end.
Not whether you get knocked down, but how you get up. What's the coping skills that you
But it's
use?
scary to get up when you get knocked down. Like I've lost a daughter. I have a son that's in there. I got a trauma call today. But I have to stay on this path now. See what I'm saying? It took me a while to get here, but guess what? I'm here. And I'm not gonna let nobody and no one take this from me. See what I'm
No.
saying? And when all the things happened to me, I didn't have nobody to talk to. I didn't even know how to open my mouth and talk to the Most High because I didn't know how. Right? And I was so hurt. I was so broken. I didn't know what to do. So I used to drink. See what I'm saying? But it took me in different directions that I didn't even know what was going on with myself. I didn't even know who died was. I didn't even know who died looked like no more. But now I'm here. Ain't nobody gonna take that from me. Can't nobody tell me that I have to be locked up to experience what I experienced and went through what I went through. As of still to this day when I got that call today. But by me being where I am, I was able to handle that phone call with ease.
And then, you know, another thing, we have a lot of support with each other now.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the main part that helps us all pull together. You know what I'm saying?
And this is part of that change in the universe, Terrell, that you was talking about, where what it does is you see things changing, because even the conversation about being vulnerable, or men talking about being vulnerable, or their trauma and all this stuff, it wasn't even available. But it wasn't, what are you talking about? What is that?
It was always a word, but we didn't use it because we didn't know what it was.
No, it was
Straight up.
absolutely unheard of. And just briefly, I will say April 15th, 1981, my brother's funeral. I was 14 years old. I still can hear my uncles arguing over who cried first. That was huge to them. They literally got into knockdown, drag out fight after the funeral about who was the first to crack over my brother's, over his casket. Like it was not human for them. It was not manly.
Because why you cry? Because that made me cry.
Yeah,
Why you started crying, and I wouldn't have cried if you didn't cry.
I mean, I was sitting there
And literally arguing.
and I was sitting there like, what a fucking idiot.
I wasn't even there, but I can see the whole movie playing out. I can see the whole. Can't you see it playing out, George? You didn't cry. Like why? You're like really mad with each other. Wow. Wow. Yes. And especially because we were not socialized. We were not socialized that was acceptable. All men were taught, boys don't cry. Horseshit. Yes, they do. Why you think Yahweh gave them tear ducts if they ain't to cry? Come on, knock it off. You know what I'm saying? But the whole concept is just, whatever Yahweh says Satan always got some perversion of that, or he gonna say the exact opposite. You know what I mean? Like he tells us, and this is will lead right into the self-valuation, right? He tells us we're his children. We are children of his by promise. We're heirs and this, and that to the kingdom. Satan say, no, or he tell Adam and them, hey, don't touch that tree because the day you touch that tree, you're gonna die. Satan say, no, you ain't gonna die no death. That's it. That's some bullshit. Go on it. Okay. Right. And then everything changed. Right. But it's because that opposition energy is always, and that's why I don't like to use the term Satan and stuff like that, because I don't want people to think there was some serpent on the tree. This is what was going on in their mind. There was no serpent on the tree, y'all. The serpent was in their mind.
Oh shit.
This is what I believe. So I'm gonna tell you, the serpent in my head led me to the tree. Okay. Oh, he is 6'2". He got a good job. The sex is awesome. He take care of me. He take me on vacations. He buy me stuff. Okay. That was that. And so therefore, whatever he want was paramount in my life. My priority is to take care of that. Forget what else I need. Okay.
I'm supposed to be doing for me.
Well, and who's supposed to be taking care of me? If I'm worried about what he's going through and he worried about what he's going through, who worried about what I'm going through?
Nobody.
Living in illusion. And that was the illusion that they lived in the garden that way. It was psychological. It was in here. It was something that they believed for a moment that caused them to, it was a lie. Right? And so that's what we do to ourselves. We create lies for ourselves. For example, I'm not smart enough. I'm not worthy. Nobody cares about me.
Yeah, that's negative self-talk.
Nobody cares if I die. I don't have nothing to offer nobody. Forget my feelings. I'm supposed to serve everybody else and nobody's supposed to serve me. Okay, all of those are lies. But if I subscribe to them, I will behave accordingly. And guess what I'm going to get? The consequences of that behavior.
Yeah, that's your false truth. Living.
That's my false beliefs that cause me to behave a particular way, which cause me to have to serve the consequences of those false beliefs. And the only way to fix that is first to identify and be willing to admit that it is a lie. And first that I even got a problem, that there's something, because a lot of times we believe what we believe and we don't think we need to change. Okay, so this is just the way I am. That's a classic statement. Well, that's just how I am. I know I'm messed up. I know I'm hard to get along with, but that's just who I am.
That's a cover up.
Yeah, well, right. But guess what? Like they say, like they tell the people, come to church, come as you are, but he ain't say stay like that.
He meant your outfit, baby.
Yeah,
He meant your outfit.
not your mind.
And no, listen, even with your mind. But what it is once I pour something into you, once I expose you to something else, and I expose you to the truth and to something up, then now you should be living with that, as opposed to holding on to, and well, I heard that, but that don't apply to me. And why don't it apply to me? Because I don't want it to.
Can I say this? I think sometimes a lot of people, heinous or whatever you want to call it, they look at the reward of it. You don't ever look at the consequences. You know what I'm saying? If you start looking at the consequences of certain things, then you would have a way to think. You wouldn't be so impulsive. You would think about it. A lot of us don't do that. A lot of people in the streets don't do that. They just react. You know what I'm saying? They look at the reward. We get in an argument, this guy got a gun, he gonna shoot the dude because the gun makes you feel powerful, it makes you feel like Superman. So you kill the dude, but not looking at the consequences. Now you just start a ripple effect, not only with their family, but with their family.
And the crazy thing about that is, even if you think you know the consequences, there's no way you can know all of them. There's no way you can know what it did to your mother, what it did to your children, what it did to the effects it had on your children, that had an effect on your grandchildren. Go ahead, Terrell. But there's no way.
It's definitely the ripple effect. It's definitely a ripple effect. And the thing about it is, not only did we trip off the consequences, we didn't give a fuck about the consequence. I didn't care about living or dying. I didn't. So it didn't matter one way or another. And I didn't even think about the consequences because I didn't care about living or not. We wasn't cognitive of what we are now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about the brothers over there, but I was knee deep in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care about none of that shit. I'd knock a nigga head off, and if I got served, that's just the way it was. But when I had my daughter, then my whole alignment changed where I got something to live for now. I got somebody I got to take care of now. So I had to change my ways, even though it didn't change instantly. It did. It put a spark there, like, oh, you got to be a daddy now, boy. You got to be a better daddy than your daddy, or better than you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got a little girl. You know what I'm saying? So you got to protect that. So that gave me something to live for, but I still was kind of not tripping off the consequences because I was like, hey, if I go to jail, that's part of the game, right? But we never thought we was gonna have to go. I never thought I was gonna have to go to jail for a long time like I did.
But guess what though? But I know you want to say something, Chess. I'm gonna come to you, but let me tell you this. You said, and this is where what I mean when I say you thought at whatever small amount of time you spent thinking, well, if it was just that one sentence, if I go to the pen, that's just part of the game, right? You was willing in your mind to suffer that consequence, but what you didn't realize was, number one, how much longer you would, and then also the ripple effect on your children, your mother, da 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 da. You didn't calculate all that because all you had time for was that one quick little second. Well, look, this part of the game. If it go down, that's what it is. Even if the thought was, if I die, it is what it is. Because, but not thinking of what that would have done to how it would have affected your children, your mom, the people that love you, those effects, and how it affects them for the rest of their lives. It's not just a passing thing. It is the long term, right? The long term effect on the family, right? Oh, and it forces me, Chester, please don't lose your thought.
All
Sure.
in score. Chester, go on, write that thought down, Chester.
Cheryl. Okay, wait. She away from the. Okay, listen, hey Cheryl. Can I please talk about what just happened in terms of the long-term effect of, okay, good. Thank you, love. Okay, so Cheryl, this past week, she got on a plane at LAX to go to Japan for her son's birthday. She went with her son and so they were going to Japan. So she gets to Japan and they will not let her in the country because she checked yes on the box that says she had previously been convicted. In Japan, if you have been convicted of any law and spent more than a year in prison for anything, whether it's Japan's laws, their laws, they will not let you in the country. She was in Japan's airport for a year, hour and a half, and they sent her back. She kept telling the people, my crime was in 1995. 1995, but it don't matter. So again, she said what you said, Terrell. There was a time she knew she might go to jail or prison. She never knew she was going to be going that long, and she certainly did not anticipate that she went to go for her son's 30-something birthday, and she can't go because of choices she made way back then. There's no way to know the totality of the consequences of what we're doing usually. So we think we're okay with it. And it's like you said, Terrell, even if we even give a shit, right? If we even give it any thought. Because a lot of times what we're doing is just what makes us feel good at the moment. Right? Right? Instant gratification, all of that stuff. No. And so what happens is we wind up putting ourselves in circumstances that, like, I think about how often I listen to men and women who have served long periods of time that never got to have kids because they were incarcerated.
Like,
yeah. I mean, he never got to have a family. He didn't mind. He will tell you in a heartbeat, I like robbing. He enjoyed it. He robbed one bar to go pay the tab at the other bar. He said he knew that he was going back to jail. He already knew that. That was not ever a question in his mind that he was going back to the penitentiary. So he didn't establish those relationships. But as a 74-year-old man now, he longs for what he says. He said he used to come here and sit out in the center and come early just so that he could watch the people with their families. But again, even as a kid and however young he was when he was doing those things, never did he anticipate at that time that he would have a longing to have had children. It just didn't even occur to him. And he thought he was willing to suffer those consequences.
He was going to jail anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see the point about that.
Can we get to the guy to the brother thought? See what he talking about?
Yep.
What you got? Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
Well, what I was saying, I mean, we anticipate that we doing this, we going to jail, we don't know how long.
Yeah.
Luther did 34 years, I did 28 years. That's a long time to be in one place. So, you know, and we came out to where we are today. What you see is what you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't make it. People kill themselves, all kind of stuff. Like me, I didn't change for my son. I didn't change for nobody. I changed for me to be a better person to somebody else. You know, so that's the only way I can be. Because I'm saying, you change for somebody else, I don't think it's going to too much work. You have to do
I don't
it for
think so
yourself
either.
I can be better to the next person. So,
I don't think it'll last. And I think what'll happen is the moment that you're challenged on it, the moment that the test comes, we say we learned this lesson, we say we got, you know, we made this change, and you're going to be tested on it.
well, I think
It's not authentic.
let me say this: when you change, you don't have to say that. People will see it.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true.
You know?
But I'm talking about even in your own self-talk.
Yeah.
I've changed. Guess what's going to happen? Oh, you're going to be tested to find out. And look, and it may not be just now. It may be years from now, but it's going to come. And so I know for myself, my, okay, in my book, I write about the issue that I had with my dad and how I developed this habit of putting the man's issues ahead of mine. And let me tell you something, even today at 60, there are times that I have to remind myself, hold up, that's going in that same direction, because it was so ingrained as a child. And I did it for so long that it almost became second nature. It's like when I managed Little League football for like 15 years, won a lot of championships. And in doing that, when we practiced our kids, we practiced them the same way all the time. The routine was the same. The only thing that would change is at the end of practice when the coaches would have them scrimmaging each other. And maybe the plays that they ran were different. But the preparation, the exercises, the word won't come to me, but the routines of what they had to do. And why did we do that? It was position training so that in the heat of battle, in a dogfight, what you're going to revert back to is what you know and what's in you, not what you can intellectualize, but what becomes second nature. And for me, it became second nature to put a man's needs ahead of mine at all cost. So that became second nature. So now I have to, and not as much as I used to, but it still will come up, is my point. I'm not immune. It's like an alcoholic always got to run the risk that, you know, it's probably never a good idea for me to start drinking again. Right. Well, that was my addiction. And so that's why I say I treat it like that I remind myself, no, when I see myself headed in that direction, when I'm opening that bottle, because he may not be 6'2", but he sure is 6 foot, and you know, you know what I'm saying? Look, he may not be driving that Volvo, but you know, that Pinto don't look so bad either. You know what I'm saying? Whatever my drama is for myself that I tell myself at that particular moment. Oh, he's so sweet. He is really trying hard. And so what? Right? But this is the part of me that became second nature. So what happens is, and in fact, that whole analogy, I think about it with the guy Noah Lyles when he won the 100 in the Olympics this week. When he came to the finish line, he leaned not with his head, but with his chest. Why? Because he was trained that way, and the rules of that game says it is when your torso crosses the finish line first. The other guy's foot crossed the finish line first, but he leaned like this, and Lyles leaned like this. And in that dogfight, that training of leaning with your chest and constantly being coached, even at the level of being an Olympian, his training kicked in. What was second nature to him kicked in, and it was 5,000ths of a second was the difference between gold and silver.
Fight or flight. Mm-hmm.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm just trying to tell y'all something. I'm trying to tell the people a little bit of something, Terrell. Just trying to tell the people what the people told me.
Oh, telling them, Noreen.
Because listen, and so what we have to do is we have to remember this about ourselves, right? So I'm just grateful for this, and I want to say this too, because I don't want to lose the fact that we have to set that value. What does it cost to have access to spending time with Rufus? There has to be a price for that. We're not talking pimping and hoeing. We're not. But there has to be a price. Because there's a value. There's a value to being able to be in Rufus's presence and have him. Because, I always said from the day you came on the very first Zoom you ever got on, Rufus, I always loved your perspective on things. Always positive, always measured. To me, you always sounded sane, right? So I'm just saying what you know what I'm saying? Hey, shut the fuck up hours ago. Wait, an hour ago we told you to shut the fuck up. Hold on. That's funny. But what I'm saying is there has to be an investment. Anybody, I don't care who it is, needs to have to invest something to be able to have access to that. Huh? Yes, a high value target. And I'm top shelf liquor. I'm the one you got to go behind the thing. They got to unlock it to get to me. I'm just saying. Now, that wasn't always the case.
They don't even got me in the stores. What you talking about? You gotta order me. You don't even got me in the store. You got to order me privilege.
Online. I know that's right. So sometimes, listen, I was the pink champagne. You know what I'm saying? The four in the container. You know what I'm saying? I let it go that cheap. You can sit down and talk to me hours and hours on end.
You little Takabaka. Takabaka.
Oh no, not the Takabaka.
Takabaka cheap.
Not Takabaka and not Cisco. And not Thunderbird neither. Okay, there was the one. No, but a champagne. You heard me say it was pink champagne too. Because I was the cute.
Pink champagne.
Okay,
yeah,
I was too girly. It had to be pink champagne. It wasn't just regular.
The brothers relate to that pink champagne.
Wait, Terrell. Tony said pink champagne was Coke 45 with red dye. Whatever it was, but it had the red dye. Just know that. Because I was too cute, okay? In my mind. So all in my body is what's going on, okay? But now I understand I am worth way more than that. You got to invest. And listen, if you don't want to invest more, it's okay. You just don't have access to all of me. You only have access to that at the level at which you're willing to invest. Because what I learned the hard way was waking up one morning totally spent, depleted, nothing, ready to lose my mind. Because I had given everything I had and I didn't require it to be replenished. When it's this much milk in the damn carton, if somebody don't go to the store and get that milk, I promise you, we're gonna have a problem up in here. Don't you put that carton back in there don't you do that. Okay? Somebody better go get some milk to replenish that. Because when I come in here and I thought it was some milk in there and I lift this carton and I ain't had no cereal, we got us a problem. I'm just saying.
Better put some water on that.
The water on the cornflakes, baby. Ooh, look, listen. Ooh, it's crazy, but it's just that kind of thing. So what we have to do is, again, we have to value ourselves. We have to value. We have to place a value on what it is. How much time you get to spend with me? How much of me do I share with you? Because everybody can't have all of it. It's not to say that I'm better than nobody. That's not what I think. I just know I can't give everybody everything. Everybody don't have the same level of access. These people here, y'all got me. Yes, ma'am. Missy. Oh, wait, hold up, y'all. She want to talk to us. Unmute, baby. There you go.
Okay, it's not that you think you better, it's that you value yourself.
That's
That's what you're talking about. You value yourself more than
You froze, Cheryl. You froze. We need to get that in from you. I want to hear them nuggets.
Yeah. And that's what it is. And I'm so grateful that I learned that. I'm grateful that I've learned it
There
because,
you go.
okay, wait, I think you're
Go ahead,
unfrozen.
Cheryl. You unmuted. You have froze.
You have froze, baby.
Where was I at when I froze?
You said, you had said that, is that you value yourself, and then that was pretty much.
Yeah, and when you said that you said it's not that I think I'm better than anyone, but it's the value you put upon yourself that makes you important to you, and you should be important to the other person also.
That's
right?
correct, yes, ma'am. Thank you, my love. Thank you. And it's true. And this is the cold part. Only you can do that for you. Only you can set your value. So it's important to realize that, and I just could not let us go without making sure that I made that point. Okay. And so I would like to go around and give everybody a last chance, any last comments, thoughts, or whatever. And I'm gonna start back there with you, Rufus. Check out for me.
One thing that a lot in here.
Can we get that speaker over there so we can hear him a little better?
Okay.
Thank you.
No, I'm gonna come back there a little bit.
I was just saying that it's a lot that we say in here and that I can comment on. But one thing I do want to say is that once I learned that I'm responsible for my own happiness, is when I knew that I need to take ownership of my happiness. I can't find happiness outside of myself. So once I learned that and understood that and worked on that, I'm just happy. And anybody else who comes along, just adds to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when they go, it doesn't take away who I am or my happiness.
No.
I'm at that level.
That's yours.
I've invested and I built that for myself. And it's about knowing your worth. I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table in everything that I do. And
that's right.
And at the same time, I have no problem asking for help, because if it ain't there, then hey, help me put that where I need it to be.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. That's awesome.
That's what I want.
Wonderful. What about you, Miss?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
No. Okay.
Come on, Roberta. Come on, Roberta.
What does that mean?
I just wanted to be in the group, and then I'm gonna walk up because I don't.
Okay, well, go ahead and say whatever you was gonna say.
Look at her. She about to have a stroke.
This whole thing is looking at anyway.
Okay, well, I'm putting.
Last week and this week has been a great topic. I'm not gonna say anything.
No, baby.
All right, that's good. We'll take.
Thank you, Roberta, for
We'll
sharing.
take that. Go ahead.
Great conversation, great topic. I appreciate everyone.
Thank you, darling, back there.
Start working on yourself. Put it into yourself. You don't need no help to do that. Just stand up and do it for you.
Love it.
Same thing what she said, stand up, be who you are, stay positive, hold yourself accountable for the things you do and the things you don't do. And take responsibility, and like Ruth said, just be happy. Be happy in yourself, be happy in who you are. Like I say again, what you see is what you get. It's how we show up. So,
Yeah, I appreciate that. And wait, now I'm gonna come to you 1 second. Mr. Terrell, let you check out.
I think this is a great topic. And definitely authenticity. Authenticity has been found to be the strongest energy in our body.
Mm-hmm.
Authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
So once you being yourself, that's as good as it's gonna get.
Thank you, love.
See, I'm in that happy place. Like the brother, like I tell people, you can't take my joy, you can't steal my happiness because I'm gonna be happy. You're gonna be arguing and mad at yourself later on. I'm gonna be happy.
By yourself.
I'm good.
Do
I've
that by
been through all
yourself,
the
player.
this is child's play for me. I'm gonna be happy.
Do that by yourself. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
I think you just stay up there with the laptop and then speak. You don't want it that up close.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so just stay up
Next
there.
time.
Yeah.
Next time. George, any last comments from you, sweetheart? Any last time? You good? Wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
All right, dear. So, Miss Cheryl.
So, yeah, beautiful topic. And you just got to know, that's why I tell people don't get into relationships early, because if all you want is a booty call and you got one, you're going to have feelings for them and be jacked up in the end. So take time to get to know people and then do what you got to do or do what you have to do. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, love. And so, for me, my checkout is, again, Rufus has always given me something that I absolutely love.
Your checkout is what? Your checkout
is that happiness is a choice. And we choose that because we know our worth. We choose it because, and nobody can take that from me.
That's right.
Because I choose that every day, no matter where you find me. That is a choice that I am making. And so I don't give other people the power to destroy that happiness. Not that I don't have feelings or not that everything goes my way or it's good all the time. It's not that. What it is that I make a choice in spite of the challenges, that I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay because I'm not ashamed of nothing. Like I told y'all, I done something strange. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take no change, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't ashamed of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I can say it. You know what I mean? I'm good with me, right? So I just want y'all. I hope that you all had as much fun as I have had this evening in another great session of Free to Heal. We here every week. Please check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, all social media sites.
I'll pull it up next week.
Yeah, yada yada. And look, and so we ask you to leave comments, any topics you want us to talk about, by all means, leave it there. And we'll see you guys next week. And thanks for another great session. Bye. Bye.
Good night. God bless you all. God bless you all.
Good night.